Tonight, a P-plater allegedly caught drink driving and speeding in its school zone. The Gympie family living in a tent due to the housing crisis. A pay rise for workers and masks to be scrapped at airports.
Live from the Sunshine Coast, this is 7 News with Rob Ruff.
Good evening. Thanks very much for joining us. A P-plater has been caught speeding and drink driving in a school zone here on the coast. Police are putting motorists on notice in Operation Jump Street as they crack down on drivers risking their lives and others.
This P-plater was a sitting duck for officers waiting to catch drivers flouting the law in the Burnside school zone.
Reason stops delay for speed today, had you at 56.
And very quickly he realised his goose was cooked.
You see the flashing 40 sign?
But 16 kilometres over the speed limit was just the tip of the iceberg.
Any up on the last 20 minutes? I thought I could smell something.
And his instincts were correct. The 20-year-old allegedly returned a .035 blood alcohol reading.
You have gone over, so you're on your P's, so you know what you've got to be on your P's. Zeros, yeah.
Operation Jump Street was set up by highway patrol teams to target dangerous drivers.
Children are some of our most vulnerable persons out there. You know, we need to protect them as much as we can. School zones clearly marked out for speeding.
Nearly 120 infringement notices have been handed out to motorists caught breaking the law within school zones since May 23. The most common offences have been speeding and illegal parking.
Disappointing to find those sort of numbers. You know, we're talking less than a month and 119 offences within school zones. They're disappointing figures.
Sarah Court, 7 News.
A Gympie man is fronted court charged with punching a police officer and stealing a car. Investigators allege TJ St John stole the car, parked it at Bly Street Business on Friday afternoon. He's accused of running from police the next day and striking an officer in the head during his arrest. The 36-year-old is facing more than a dozen charges and didn't apply for bail in the Gympie Magistrates Court yesterday. He'll return to court on July 11. Staying in Gympie, and a family of 6 have been forced to camp out in the cold while they frantically search for a new home. They're desperate to move out of their tents and into a rental, but every application they submit is being turned down, and support services are too busy to help.
The Leavers spend their nights eating and sleeping in tents at Traveston. The lives of the Gympie parents, their 4 children, 2 cats and a dog are packed into these cars.
We've been struggling with food, timber to keep us warm.
Ben has been on the pension since suffering severe spinal damage in a fall while working security. His wife is his full-time carer. He says his family is trying to stay positive, but sleeping rough is taking a toll.
All we're trying to do is huddle up together, try to get a house and try to stay strong all together.
The Leavers are one of many families across the region desperate for a rental. They're being turned away at every property.
There's usually 30 to 50 people per application.
Ben is begging for help from anyone who can offer his family a home. He's struggling to find help from charities and support services stretched thin since the floods.
They've helped everyone they can and their funds have been used.
Ben is now looking to sell as many assets as he can, including the 2 family cars, to pay for a deposit on a house.
It is going to be pretty amazing to get that feeling, to finally have a house again and be able to sleep in an actual bed.
Harrison Lance, 7 News.
Our lowest paid workers will get a pay rise on July 1, following a decision by the Fair Work Commission to increase the national minimum wage by 5.2%. Workers will receive an extra $1.05 an hour, in line with current inflation, or around $40 extra a week.
These workers deserve more than our thanks. They deserve a pay rise, and today they've got it.
Award rates will also increase by 4.6%. Well, travellers will soon be able to unmask at our airports, with the Federal Health Minister recommending the mandate be lifted. The Queensland Government backed the move today. Sarah Court has more.
Rob, Health Minister Yvette D'Arth announced earlier this afternoon that staff, travellers and visitors to airports across the state will be able to take their masks off from this weekend. The Australian Health Protection Principal Committee, which is made up of all the nation's state and territory chief health officers, made the recommendation late Tuesday, claiming it was no longer proportionate to mandate mask use in airport terminals. They advised the states to ditch the mandate from as early as midnight on Friday. That move was today endorsed by the State Health Minister Yvette D'Arth, who said in a statement that the Queensland Government would lift the mandate in accordance with the AHPPC. But masks will still be mandatory on all commercial flights. Health officials say they're an important tool in protection from both COVID and the flu. Rob?
Sarah, thank you very much. 1 in 6 older Australians is under threat, often behind closed doors and at the hands of trusted family members. World Elder Abuse Day revealed shocking statistics about the unacceptable treatment of seniors in the grip of financial control, abuse or physical isolation.
Aged care workers are rallying together to help elderly people who are trapped in a web of control, often held captive by their own children.
They ban them from using the kitchen, or they, lock them in their room.
World Elder Abuse Day highlights the harsh reality for around 15% of seniors.
Elder abuse can include financial, physical, emotional and or neglect.
Relationships Australia says the abuse that's reported is just the tip of the iceberg. Many victims don't know or don't want to believe it could happen.
People don't believe that they're experiencing abuse. And if they are, they often find it very difficult to talk about because it's often a trusted relationship, a family member, a neighbour, an associate, a friend.
Locals are urged to not turn a blind eye to uncommon behaviour and look for signs of ill treatment.
Just being aware that if they're looking anxious or fearful or unable to meet your eyes or start to say something and then stop.
If you or a loved one are experiencing mistreatment, you can reach out to Relationships Australia on 1300 364 277 for help. Sarah Benalik, 7 News.
A Sunshine Coast caravan dealer has donated $50,000 to the Morecambe Foundation. Sunseeker auctioned this luxury caravan off and hoped to offer the charity any profit above the reserve price. But when it wasn't sold for as much as expected, Sunseeker decided to help anyway, cutting a cheque for the Morecambes. The money will be spent on new child safety information kits on the Foundation's website. Well done. We'll take a break in a moment. The plan to bring Queenslanders here to the coast for new music festivals. And sporting stars encourage kids with a disability to get out and have a go. Nice having you with us on 7 News. Power, petrol and now water. It seems we're set to pay more. Unity Water has locked in a 2% increase on water and sewerage charges for the next year. The average Sunshine Coast and Noosa household will pay an extra $7.42 on their quarterly bill. The prices come into effect on July 1. Our music scene is expected to receive a major boost from next week's budget. $20 million will go directly to creating new music festivals to encourage road trips to all corners of our state.
A rave near the reef or an orchestra in the outback, they both sound like a great idea to boost regional tourism.
$20 million over 3 years, when you look at the size of our state, it's a really, really good investment. There's a strong focus, obviously, in regional areas.
Next week's state budget will put the money towards a road trip music festival hybrid, bringing events to the Sunshine Coast, Toowoomba, Mackay, Whitsundays, Townsville and Cairns from May next year.
We can make sure that we build this so people can go and spend a week or two in one region and then go to another.
So when they start in, for example, Brisbane, we want them to come up.
Artists outside the Big Smoke say the new festival trail is a chance to discover untapped talent.
A really good scene, just a little hidden, unfortunately, but I think with the right money coming through and, some exposure for these guys, I think it would be a really good thing coming.
And give a much-needed boost to an industry still reeling from 2 years of lockdowns.
We all had a bit of a lull period, so it's good that they're investing money into actually bringing shows, and hopefully venues can bring some working musos back into venues as well.
They were absolutely hammered by COVID, so the opportunity to ensure that we get our live music back.
Lawrence Jeffcoat, 7 News.
And a new festival will soon call Kawana home. Living Life was officially launched today. The event focuses on health, fitness, nutrition and well-being. The day will feature live workouts, yoga, meditation and breath workshops. There'll also be a kids zone featuring dancing, skateboarding.
50 to 75 exhibitors, 1,500 to 2,000 people from all walks of life, with a lot of things in common.
So get a chance to have a crack at Circus Acts. The festival will be held on August 13. Our kids living with a disability learn from the best today, taking to the court alongside professional netballers, among others. It's all part of a program inspiring kids to try new sports and potentially find their passion.
Today, the aim of the game was having a go. Cricket, NRL, athletics and netball, Queensland kids with a disability tried their luck and knocked it out of the park. It's part of the Variety Activate Inclusion Sports Day.
It's about increasing participation rates for children living with a disability, physical, sensory or intellectual disabilities.
Today's stop was the Sunshine Coast. The program has been run in Rockhampton and Toowoomba and will also head to Townsville, Bundaberg, Cairns and Mackay.
Bouncing the ball. I like it to kick and tackle. The running around and stuff.
Because it's a way to try doing stuff new when I've never played sport before.
Cheered on by Lightning players, Libby was really having a ball as she celebrated her 18th birthday.
Pretty cool.
We've seen some awesome shooting this morning, some awesome passing, some very cool ball tricks.
It's hoped the day will inspire students to join a team.
And enjoy the mental, social, physical benefits that playing sport bring.
And who knows, maybe make it to the 2032 Paralympics.
These kids will be, 10 years older and definitely hope to see a few of them there representing our country.
Mel Whiteman, 7 News.
Happy 18th birthday, Libby, and that was really cool.
Oh, what a way to spend her birthday. Good stuff, Bruffy. Yeah.
So the Lightning captain, Nath, can't wait for England,
Yeah,
eh?
that's right, Rob. Steph Wood is still pinching herself over a second Commonwealth Games call-up, this time as an Aussie vice-captain. More on that next. And the teenager getting ready for the Under-20 World Athletics titles and the Junior World Triathlon titles. And welcome back to 7 News. The Sunshine Coast Lightning's Steph Wood still can't believe she's heading to her second Commonwealth Games next month in England, and this time as an Australian Diamonds vice-captain. The final 12-woman squad was unveiled yesterday, with Steph one of only 4 players picked from the 2018 squad that won silver on the Gold Coast. This time, the Lightning star is one of Australia's leaders, with Liz Watson named the captain.
You and I were actually roommates back in 2018, and who would have thought that we would be captain and vice-captain 4 years later.
The team will head into camp in Perth soon to start the hard work after losing that gold medal match to England 4 years ago.
When I was a young kid, I dreamed to play for Australia and get to go to these pinnacle events, and to not only play one Com Games, to be going and heading over to play my second is very, very special to me.
And the camp will begin following the Super Netball Finals. Australia remains 5th on the World Para-Swimming Championship tally in Portugal, with a USC Spartan adding silver to the count overnight. Emily Beecroft surprised even herself in the women's 100-metre butterfly S9 final, hitting the wall in second place at a personal best time of 1 minute 9.35 seconds.
It's going to be gold to Hungary. Sophia Konkoli gets the title. It's silver to Australia. A great swim from Emily Beecroft.
I just really wanted to put together some really good swims, and to come away with a PB and my first individual international medal is amazing.
Oh, it certainly is. Emily is the 3rd Spartan to medal at the championships. Australia now has 3 gold, 7 silver and 4 bronze. The action continues tonight on the 7plus app. The Falcons aren't expecting to see Grant Anderson until at least the end of July, with confirmation the centre will remain with the Melbourne Storm for another 5 weeks minimum. And the coach for the Coast couldn't be happier. Grant's now the 9th player to go directly from the Falcons system to the Storm.
Grant Anderson left for Melbourne on Sunday, June 5, the day after a gutsy win with the Sunshine Coast Falcons at Bishop Park.
And so the plan was keep him down there for a 2-week block and then a week off and then a 3-week block, but I think he'll just stay there for the whole period now.
That's after the centre impressed in his NRL debut with the Storm last weekend, scoring 2 tries in Melbourne's win over the Roosters, and he's expected to face the Broncos on Friday night. He will return to the Falcons full-time at some stage, but any Q Cup games he plays between now and late July will be fly-in, fly-out.
For Grant's sake, I hope not. I hope he gets a bit of a run there. I think he did enough to justify selection again, but, you know, some guys at the club obviously will take seniority over Grant. I think when Paps comes back, that, you know, might push a few back and get Nick Meaney back onto the wing.
Switching to soccer, and the Sunshine Coast Wanderers are breathing a little easier after ending a run of 7 straight draws in the NPL. The 3-0 win over Logan has them 6th on the table. There were fears of falling into the relegation battle.
That's not something we want to be in, after obviously the success we had last year in being up in around that top 4, 5, 6 teams.
Tonight they host fellow NPL side Brisbane City in an Australia Cup fixture at Ballinger Park, while the Fire face Southside Eagles in theirs at Bulimba. Both games kick off at 7:30 p.m. Luke McGarry, 7 News.
A Coast teenager is ramping up training ahead of the Under-20 World Athletics titles in August, where he'll race in the 1,500 metres. But before Peyton Craig heads to Colombia, next week he'll take part in the Junior World Triathlon Championships.
Peyton Craig spends most mornings training at the University of the Sunshine Coast, whether it be on track, in the gym or in the pool.
It's unreal. Top-notch facilities I've got full access to them, which I'm very grateful for.
His main aim is August's World Junior Athletics Championships in Colombia, where the 17-year-old will race the 1,500. But he did technically also qualify to do the 800 and also the 3K, the latter of which he holds the best under-20 time in the nation.
I think it's only 0.3 of a second off the national record. Unfortunately, him being only 17, they only allow him to run one race at World Juniors.
But the long-term view is the Paris 2024 and LA 2028 Olympics, where no such rule applies, so too Brisbane 2032.
Wouldn't be anything better than to be contesting in an Olympics at home.
And it's those ambitions which brought Peyton to the coast 5 years ago.
When he first moved to Chancellor State College, he came down from Gladstone and I was teaching his sister. And she said, "Oh, my brother's a track athlete." And I said, "Well, come over and have a run with me."
And if athletics isn't enough, the teenager is off to Canada on Sunday to compete at the Junior Triathlon Worlds.
Look, I'm not going over to make up numbers, so I'm going to give it a red-hot crack and hopefully come away with some silverware.
Luke McGarry, 7 News.
Love the attitude, Peyton. Let's hope you do come home with a medal. What a talent he is, Bruffy.
He gets the run leg in front, mate. Look out.
Look out indeed, yep.
Good luck, mate. Liv's got the weather in a moment. Might be a touch warmer tomorrow. We'll find out after the break.
Evening, Livia Regano with tonight's weather. Well, the weather pattern that put half of Australia into a week-long deep freeze has now passed, and the Sunshine Coast enjoying a well-earned stretch of balmier weather. The ocean trade winds do, of course, bring more cloud than those lip-cracking southwesterlies, but any showers this week should be very isolated, as they have been. Last night got down to 11 degrees at the airport, which is slightly better than yesterday's 10. Our top of 21 was about average for June, so we're back to normal, I guess. On the satellite picture, it looks pretty quiet. We did get that little shower this morning. It barely produced any rainfall at all. Certainly around Maroochydore to Mooloolaba, that strip, a little bit of a light flurry came and then it disappeared as quickly as it came, and that's pretty much all we've got today, and I think that's basically what the forecast was. Tomorrow I don't think we'll get anything. Today's chart now, we've got 2 highs, one out in the Tasman Sea. That's the one that originally brought all that cold weather, long gone now, and we've got the next high coming in in across central Australia. In between the two highs, of course, there's very little wind, so expect a little bit of fog over the next few mornings and very, very good boating weather on tomorrow's chart that emphasises that. Again, we're in that limbo zone. We call it a neutral point or a coal between the two highs. It's a light wind zone where you tend to get early morning fog. There's plenty of moisture around for that, but also light winds and really good boating weather. I wouldn't expect any showers tomorrow. On the outlook chart, finally you see as the high moves offshore, we get a little bit of a brief southerly coming through, or even a south-southwesterly. That'll come in by Friday. That'll drop our temperature down, but just a degree or two. Nothing like that cold snap we had for the previous week that lasted into the weekend. So now the latest from the Weather Bureau. The boating forecast for Sunshine Coast waters, light variable winds tomorrow on a diminishing 2-metre swell. A weak south-southwesterly change on Friday, then 15 to 20 knot south-southeasterlies for Saturday. Nice clean surf today with swell less than a metre on most beaches, but the tail end of the king tide is causing quite strong rips, so please be extra cautious. Tomorrow's the last day of really big tides before the moon starts waning and swing starts narrowing. It's the night tide we're most concerned about. The daytime one's just a baby. The South East Coast District, a mostly sunny day after some inland fog. Maroochydore 12 to 23 degrees. Nambour and Gympie 25. And looking ahead for Maroochydore, temperatures peaking tomorrow or Friday, then falling a degree or two over the weekend following that weak southerly change. Cloudy at times, but no more rain until probably Monday. Well, that's all for tonight, folks. Pleasure to have your company once again, and thank you for watching 7 Local Weather. I'll be back once again tomorrow with more on this topic. Hope you can join me then. But for now, it's back to you, Rob.
Yeah, wonderful. It all sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. Take care. Good night.